us now discuss about intergenic interactions. Here, genes that are present in one particular locus can affect the expression of a trait or a character by the genes present in another locus. There are, as we have discussed earlier, there are several types of intergenic interactions. Let us first take one example. Complementary genes. Complementary genes. The situation here is two pairs of genes present at different loci. Two pairs of alleles that are present at different loci interact to express a particular character or a trait together. So when they are together, when they come together, the two pairs of alleles express a particular trait, but neither of these alleles can express the trait alone. Only when they interact, they express a particular trait. Independently, they cannot express the same trait. Therefore, the genes are said to present on different loci. The genes are said to complement each other. The genes complement each other, and therefore they are called complementary genes. A classical example for this is seen in the sweet pea plant, Lathyrus odoratus. Lathyrus odoratus. In this plant, two types of flowers are produced. Two types of flowers are produced: white flowers and purple flowers. The production of purple flowers requires a pigment that is anthocyanin. Only in the presence of this pigment anthocyanin, the production of purple flowers requires a pigment called anthocyanin. Production of anthocyanin is controlled by two genes. They are gene C and gene E. So gene C has an allele, gene E also has an allele. The alleles of C occur on a particular locus of a chromosome, and the alleles of gene E occur on the same chromosome but on a different loci. Gene C is responsible for producing a raw material called chromogen, and gene E is responsible for producing an enzyme, and chromogen in the presence of the enzyme gets converted to anthocyanin, resulting chromogen in the presence of this enzyme gets converted into anthocyanin that produces the purple color. So production of anthocyanin occurs in two steps, one step controlled by gene C, another step controlled by gene E. So when these two genes interact, only then purple color is produced, otherwise flowers will be white. Suppose we take a situation wherein white flowered plants are allowed for selfing. There are different varieties of white flowered plants, but a particular variety of white flowered plants when they are crossed, they result in the production of white flowered plants, and these white flowered plants, when allowed to undergo selfing, you get two types of plants. This is parental combination, this is F1 and this is F2. In the F2 generation you will get purple flowered plants, and white flowered plants in the ratio 9:7. Remember, in the F2 generation 16 combinations are possible, 4×4. Normal ratio is 9:3:3:1, but here is a deviation. The ratio will be 9:7. So with the help of a checkerboard, let us now see how this is possible. When a particular variety of white flowered plants are crossed in the F1 generation, you will get purple flowered plants. Instead of white flowered plants, purple flower plants are produced, and these purple flowered plants, if they are allowed to undergo selfing. Then in the F2 generation you will get two types of plants. You will have purple flowered plants and white flowered plants. But the phenotypic ratio will be 9:7. Remember, 4x4 16 combinations are possible here, and in a typical dihybrid cross the ratio, phenotypic ratio, is 9:3:3:1, but here the ratio will be 9:7. That is because of the complementary interaction between genes. How it happens, let us see with the help of a checkerboard.